You might have seen a few worrying headlines over the last few days suggesting that there's something wrong with the Prime Minister, that he's lost his way or is struggling to cope. Well, as his official spokesman, I'd just like to say that he's fine. He's absolutely fine. There's nothing to see here. He hasn't lost his grip. In fact, he's gripping it so hard you can see finger marks. Let me reiterate, he isn't unwell, he's quite well, which is as well as he's ever been. In fact, he's more than well. He's energetic, ebullient even. You know, like a yappy dog that won't stop humping your leg, or in his case, your wife. Lots of people have been talking about his speech to the CBI. Look, it wasn't amateurish or sloppy. He was simply trying out a new jazz style of speaking, complete with unconventional rhythms and dramatic pauses. So if you thought it sounded silly, then you're a square man. And yes, there was a moment where he lost his place, but come on, it's not unusual for people to on rare occasions lose their place in the space-time continuum, to slip between atoms and find themselves as ethereal beings, at one with the past, present and future. What he definitely didn't do was drink a glass of champagne on an empty stomach, then briefly think he was talking to all of his ex-girlfriends as he begged them to forgive him. The cabinet is completely behind the Prime Minister, physically, politically and intellectually, which is pretty terrifying if you think about it. I mean, would you want any of them in charge? Careful what you wish for. Are there disagreements about policy? Of course. Does the Prime Minister always understand the detail? Of course not. But, he's not a details guy. You knew that when you voted for him. He's more of a feeling, a vibe, a drunk uncle at a wedding, shaking up the establishment, goosing the bridesmaids and getting Brexit done. If you don't find him as funny anymore, maybe you shouldn't have voted for a joke. Sorry, I have to go. Apparently he wants to go to Legoland. Or is legless. I can never remember the codes.